Once upon a time, your house was filled with the rhythmic clicking of nails on the hardwood floor. Every single day, without fail, the moment your key turned in the lock, you were met with a wagging tail, bright eyes, and a favorite plush toy presented to you like a grand prize. It was a beautiful, predictable routine that anchored your entire day. You knew that no matter how hard the outside world was, pure, unfiltered joy was waiting for you on the other side of that door. Until one day, the greeting slowly stopped. Now, when you come home, the house is quiet. The hallway is empty. You walk through the silent living room, your heart sinking just a little bit, and you find them curled up in a dark corner of the bedroom, barely lifting their heavy head to acknowledge your arrival. Most of us look at this heartbreaking shift and tell ourselves a comforting lie. We say they are just getting older. We tell our friends they are just slowing down, that it is a natural part of life and aging. But neuroscience tells a completely different, much more profound story. That heavy silence in your home is not just the passage of time. It is a deeply complex emotional state. It might be a silent, desperate cry for help from a soul that is currently breaking under the weight of canine depression. Think about the subtle changes, the unspoken language and hidden signals that we so often brush off because our human lives are simply too busy, too chaotic. Because of that busyness, we miss the quiet tragedies unfolding right at our feet. Maybe it started incredibly small. You noticed them licking their front paws while lying on the rug, just a little at first. You probably thought they stepped on something outside. And then it became an obsessive, rhythmic compulsion, echoing late into the night. Lick, lick, lick. A repetitive sound that you eventually assumed was just a minor skin allergy, a little irritation, or a quirky new habit they picked up. Or perhaps you started noticing the heavy, deeply profound sighs, not the relaxed, peaceful sigh of a dog settling into a comfortable nap in a sunbeam, but a long, trembling exhale when you walk into the room, as if the very air around them has become too heavy to breathe, as if the weight of their own existence is suddenly exhausting. Because of these tiny, almost invisible shifts, the entire atmosphere of your profound bond begins to change. The dog that used to be your absolute shadow suddenly stops following you into the bathroom. They stop bringing you their favorite torn-up squeaky toy when you sit on the couch. They start sleeping in strange, isolated places, like the back of a dark closet, under the guest bed, or facing the wall in a room nobody uses. They are physically withdrawing from the warmth of the sunlight, from the center of the household activity, and most painfully, from you. This is the moment your intuition starts to whisper that something is terribly wrong, but your logical mind tries to rationalize it away to protect you from the pain. Until finally, you sit beside them, you look deep into those soulful, familiar eyes, and you realize the spark is gone. That boundless, radiant joy that used to define their very existence is simply missing. As an animal behaviorist, I need you to know with absolute certainty that this is not just you projecting human emotions onto your pet. You are not overthinking it. The sorrow you are witnessing is scientifically undeniable. Let us look at the hard science behind those sad, distant eyes. When a dog experiences a profound emotional loss, whether it is a family member moving away to college, the devastating loss of another pet in the house, or a drastic sudden change in their daily routine, their brain undergoes a catastrophic chemical shift. Researchers at places like Emory University have conducted groundbreaking MRI scans on dogs, mapping their complex neural pathways in real time. What they found completely shattered the old, outdated belief that dogs only operate on basic survival instincts. The scans revealed that a dog's emotional center, specifically the caudate nucleus, is remarkably similar in its function and capacity to that of a human child around 2 to 3 years old. When your dog falls into the dark pit of depression, their brain experiences a massive, devastating drop in oxytocin, which is the love and deep bonding hormone that usually connects them to you, and dopamine, the chemical messenger responsible for anticipation, joy, and motivation. Simultaneously, their bloodstream is flooded with cortisol, the primary stress hormone. This invisible chemical storm ravages their delicate system from the inside out. Their sorrow is not a metaphor, it is a visceral, physiological reality. They are quite literally trapped in a physical body that feels heavy, chronically exhausted, and completely devoid of pleasure, a heartbreaking state known in human psychology as anhedonia. They want to feel joy, they want to wag that tail for you, but their brain chemistry simply will not allow it right now. To truly understand why your dog is suffering in such devastating silence, we have to travel far back in time. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the freezing, unforgiving wilderness of 15,000 years ago. Picture a sprawling snow-covered landscape under a pale winter moon where the freezing wind howls through the ancient pine trees. In the harsh, brutal reality of a wild wolf pack navigating this desolate environment, survival is the absolute only currency that matters. Every single member must contribute to the hunt, the defense of the territory, and the rearing of the young. If a wolf shows even the slightest hint of weakness, physical lethargy, or emotional vulnerability, they immediately become a dangerous liability to the entire pack. A depressed, slow-moving wolf cannot chase down a running deer, cannot fight off a rival pack, and most tragically, becomes an incredibly easy target for apex predators lurking in the shadows. Nature is brutally terrifyingly unforgiving to those who display their sadness. Therefore, through thousands upon thousands of generations of intense, ruthless natural selection, your sweet, comfortable, domesticated dog sleeping on the sofa has inherited a deeply ingrained, almost unbreakable genetic code. They are quite literally, biologically programmed to hide their emotional and physical pain at all absolute costs. When your beloved dog is battling severe crushing depression right in the comfort of your warm living room, their ancient DNA is screaming at them to conceal it to pretend everything is perfectly fine. They will still try to manage a weak, pathetic little tail wag when you look at them directly. They will force themselves to eat a little bit of their dinner just to appease you, because that deep-rooted historical people-pleasing instinct is their desperate way of ensuring they do not become a burden to their modern-day pack, which is you and your family. They are actively hiding their shattering heartbreak and suffering in silence just to protect you from worrying about them. But there is something incredibly crucial I must tell you right now, and I need you to listen to me very carefully. As an animal behaviorist who has seen countless heartbreaking cases, I see too many well-meaning loving owners misinterpret a life-threatening medical crisis as just a temporary, harmless bad mood. We are talking about the sudden pivot. If you notice that your dog, suddenly without any gradual warning, completely stops accepting their absolute favorite irresistible high-value treats, you know that specific piece of roasted chicken, that slice of sharp cheese, or that generous scoop of creamy peanut butter they usually go absolutely crazy for, and now they just turn their head away in disgust. Or if they suddenly start hiding in completely inaccessible dark places, like wedged tightly underneath the heavy guest bed, where you cannot easily reach them, or buried deep in the back of a cluttered closet, and they flatly refuse to come out, even when you call them, with your most enthusiastic, happy voice. You must stop waiting for them to simply cheer up. This is a massive, blaring red flag. A sudden, drastic cessation of normal daily behavior is very often not psychological depression at all. It is highly likely an indicator of severe, acute physical pain, catastrophic organ failure, or the terrifying onset of canine cognitive dysfunction, which is essentially the dog equivalent of Alzheimer's disease. When the physical or neurological pain becomes simply too immense, too overwhelming to mask with a forced polite tail wag, their most primal survival instinct takes over completely. This instinct drives them to isolate themselves in a dark, quiet space to prepare for the absolute worst. Please, if you see this sudden, impenetrable wall of dark isolation, do not try to simply fix it by buying them a brand new squeaky toy or taking them on a forced walk. Pick up your phone and take them to a veterinary professional immediately. You are their absolute only advocate in a human world they simply do not fully understand. If the veterinarian runs the blood panels, does the examinations, and gives them a completely clean bill of physical health, and you are left sitting there facing the profound reality of a broken, grieving heart, please do not despair. You possess an incredible, almost magical, scientifically proven power to heal them from the inside out. Remember that beautiful oxytocin loop we talked about earlier? You hold the key to manually restarting that incredible chemical engine of love and trust. You do not need to force them into overwhelming social situations, loud dog parks, or chaotic playdates, hoping it will snap them out of it. Simply go to them. Sit down right next to them on the hardwood floor in that quiet, dimly lit room. Do not demand forced eye contact, as that can be interpreted as pressure. Do not overwhelm their highly sensitive ears with loud, energetic, high-pitched baby talk. Just offer your calm, grounding, steady presence. Rest your warm hand very gently on their chest. Feel the slow, steady rhythm of their heartbeat, and consciously let your own breathing slow down to synchronize perfectly with theirs. Slowly, deliberately, and with immense intention, stroke their soft fur. Focus on the areas right behind the ears and along the base of the neck, where the nerve endings are incredibly sensitive and receptive to comfort. With every single slow, intentional touch, you are sending tiny, powerful sparks of oxytocin directly back into their depleted, exhausted brain. You are telling their ancient, worried, exhausted instincts that they are completely safe. You are reassuring them that they are still a vital, cherished, and irreplaceable member of the pack, and that their deep sorrow is absolutely not a burden to you. Your dog has spent their entire, beautiful, but tragically short life doing everything in their power to make you happy, to protect you, and to comfort you when you were crying. Sometimes, in their darkest moments, they desperately need you to be the strong one and hold that heavy emotional weight for them. If this journey into the canine mind has opened your eyes and touched your heart, and if it changes the way you look at your quietly struggling best friend, please subscribe to our channel OWN. Give this video a gentle like, leave a comment sharing your own experiences, and please share it with someone who might be silently struggling alongside their aging or grieving dog. Together, we can decode the secret, beautiful language of our pets and give them the profound love, empathy, and understanding they truly deserve. And speaking of secret languages, have you ever been sitting on the couch and you suddenly realize your dog is just sitting there, staring intensely right into your eyes, completely unblinking for minutes on end? Is it a challenge to your authority? Are they trying to read your mind? Or is it something entirely different? That is a breathtaking, beautiful secret about canine devotion and telepathy that we are going to completely decode in our very next video. You definitely do not want to miss it, so hit that notification bell, and I will see you and your furry friend next time